What's up, Spurs fans? GSG Nation is back. We were at the game last night against the Rockets. Such a deflating loss. Really disappointed in last night's results. Hope you're enjoying your day, trying to have a good one. But don't worry, better days are for sure coming. The wins are coming. We just got to get through the season. Let's get through it together. Let's try to survive what we're witnessing, but also enjoy at the same time. What we're witnessing now, and just knowing that better days are ahead for sure. But today we're going to start today's episode with the word from our fan base. Then we'll get into last night's game, what we thought the real problems were, and then we'll go ahead and end with another word from our fan base. But after talking to people last night at the game, there is still a lot of optimism going forward for this team. Everybody is obviously looking to see what we're going to do in the draft and in free agency. But I think that everybody's on the same page on what this team needs, the pieces that we need to be able to compete and combine with Wemby and Devin. It appears that everybody is pretty much on the same page as that. And also, fans are on the same page that they do have faith in the front office to get the right pieces together. I think right now we just need to, see what the other role players, bench players can bring to the table. Let's see if they can end on a strong note. We already know what Wemby and Devin can do. So today, let's just get into last night's game.
What up, Spurs fans? We're back at the Frost Bank Center. We're here for the San Antonio Spurs Houston Rockets game. And we have our dedicated Spurs fan with us, Kevin, today. Kevin, how you feeling?
Feeling pretty good.
Really good, awesome. So what do you think about tonight's matchup? What do you think's going to happen?
I think we're going to pull a W here. We have to beat Houston at least once this season, for that rival that we got going on.
Yeah, I know. It'd be really nice to get a win against them, especially since they took it to us last game. I'm pretty disappointed that Sengun got hurt. How are you feeling about that and not seeing him play tonight?
Yeah, I'm just happy it wasn't a major injury for that kid. That was a really scary fall, and I think both his ankle and his knee should be holding up pretty strong in a couple weeks. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I know. So I kind of like the rivalry him and maybe Wemby are gonna possibly build in the future. Do you think that could be a rivalry?
Purely just because it's Houston and San Antonio. Maybe not the main rivalry for Wemby, but I think he's got a bright future for sure.
Awesome, man. And because what I think is I think he could probably bring out the best in Wemby. Just keep pushing him to his limits, keep pushing him beyond his limits, just pure out of competitiveness. How are you feeling about the team this year?
I think they're exactly where the team, the organization wanted them to be at the beginning of the year. I think this was by design, and I think we're just following the plan that they got in store for us.
Yeah, I agree. And how do you feel? How confident do you feel in the front office to get the right pieces to put on the team?
Pretty confident, actually. I know they're probably going to be playing a waiting game. I know it's just a matter of giving it a couple years and then us being there again.
Yeah. So you would agree, you see the vision. This thing is going to take a little bit of time, but do you see us being dominant in the future?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, right. Nice. And I guess, we're coming towards the end of the season, kind of. Have you seen improvement individually from some players or at least from the team?
Yes. I think this season was great for assigning different challenges to different players and experimenting a little bit. So I think I've seen a lot of growth. Hopefully we'll see a little bit more going forward, but we'll have to see there.
Yeah, I know. So I guess for tonight's game, what are you looking for? Are you looking for Wemby quadruple double? Looking for a Sohan masterclass? Just a Spurs win? What are you looking for?
Just a win would probably be nice since we're here, but it's always nice to see Sohan and Wemby both kill it too.
Yeah, man, I agree. And just being at the game, what do you think is gonna be your favorite part of tonight so far?
Honestly, just a couple beers, and go we got.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Well, thanks for joining us today. Can I get a Go Spurs Go before we go?
Yeah. All right, Go Spurs Go.
All right. Thank you, Kevin, for being a part of the show. And thank you for being a dedicated Spurs fan. Hope you had a great time last night. Sorry we couldn't pull through with the W and celebrate that together. But shout out to you. Much appreciated for your time. So, getting into last night's game, being there, great time, great atmosphere walking up. Actually hadn't seen the entrance line that long this whole season, so it was good to see just a bunch of Spurs fans out there in the upper balcony. You know, I've been going to a couple of games lately, and the upper level has been filling up, so it's really good to see a packed house up there. So thanks all you fans for all the support for the team, and hopefully we can all enjoy more games together in the future. But getting into the actual game of last night, I truly think the main problem is or was that we were just missing wide open shots the whole night. The whole night we were just missing wide open shots. And I think that obviously if we hit those shots, you know, we're getting the W in this one. And then we're having a different conversation of what went wrong in the game last night. But, you know, Wimby got off to a very slow start. Devin, slow start, almost non-existent last night. But that's going to happen sometimes. You know, they're not going to always be able to play at their best. But I do understand the frustration with Devin. Yeah, I mean, you got to be able to produce. I don't know what he ended the night with, 2 points, 4 points. You got to be able to produce more than that for sure, without a doubt, and find a way to have a better impact on the game. And we, you know, to be competitive and to win going forward, we're obviously going to need Wimby to make his presence felt earlier in the game and to, yeah, just, you know, the whole game be in it and just give the defense, you know, trouble. But the most important thing that just did not happen last night is hitting those open shots. So when we have our 2 stars on the team not playing well, then it's up to the role players to pick up those players and carry it for the team. Find a way to get a W for your stars who just are having an off night. The game plan for the Houston Rockets, it was a really great game plan. I mean, and it's a game plan that, you know, pretty much right now this season every team probably knows against us is just collapse on Wimby, let the shooters shoot, let them beat us by making their shots. And, you know, we haven't proven this season that we can do that. And it is crucial, and it is absolutely up to the role players to pick up the stars when they're just down. And if we hit those shots last night, I mean, guys, we only needed to hit 2 more 3-pointers or just 2 more shots, period, and we win that game. And we ended the night 11 for 36 from the 3-point line, which is just ridiculous. And that's exactly what killed us last night, was just missing the shots. We actually played really good defense last night on the team. I mean, the Rockets, they didn't even break 110 points. And so, you know, in today's NBA, if you're not hitting 110 points, you actually played really, really good defense. So again, the only tweak that we needed last night to win that game was just guys hitting open shots. I mean, I don't understand why they cannot hit wide open shots. It just doesn't make any sense. I mean, these are clean looks and they're just not hitting them. But once we get the shooters, man, teams are going to be in trouble because they're not going to be able to collapse on Wimby anymore. And once we get our shooters at that point, it's really going to be pick your poison. Do you want us to give the ball to Wimby down low and he just, you know, take it to you? Or do you want us to give it to him down low, y'all collapse on him, and he kicks it out to our open shooters for the 3? It's really going to be pick your poison, either you Wimby or an open 3. So I can't, I know we all can't wait till we get shooters on the team, and the outlook on this team is just going to be so different once we get those shooters. And I mean, honestly, the outlook on this season would have been completely different had we just hit more shots throughout the year. We would have won more games. I mean, it's just crazy to think that a lot of the games that we lost, that we were competitive in, was just, it could have just came down to the simple fact that, like, man, if we just hit more shots, we win that game. Yeah, there's other tweaks, things that we need to work on, but darn, if we hit the shots, we win the game, and then we just got to focus on these other little things. But the season, we're just having to focus on, like, okay, we got to hit these shots. Are we gonna make it? Like, we're getting plenty of open looks, which is something that we could hope for in the future, that they continue to give us open looks when we get guys that can shoot the ball. But I really feel like, once we get those shooters, we're gonna destroy teams. Uh, Last night the Rockets' game plan was just, once they give it to Wemby, let's collapse the paint. So it was always 3 to 4 guys on Wemby every time he touched the ball down low. Anytime he touched the ball outside of the paint, it's usually about 2 guys on him still. And but teams aren't going to be able to do that once we get the shooters, and that's all they did last night. Devin couldn't get in his groove because the paint was just so packed. And part of Devin's game is getting in the paint, driving to the basket, and hitting those mid-range jumpers, and he could just not get that off last night because the paint was so crowded, and there was just a lack of spacing out there on the floor on the offensive end for us. Like, there was just no spacing, and I know everybody remembers that possession. I think it was a shot clock violation of Trey Jones dribbling, and I mean, Trey missed Wemby initially at the start of the play, and then he's dribbling around trying to penetrate, then dribbles it back out to the 3-point line. Wemby's coming up trying to set a screen on him. It's not really working well. Trey's still dribbling around, and then pretty much almost just dribbles it into Wemby too, and then just he loses the ball, shot clock violation, turnover. So the spacing last night was non-existent. It's been a problem this whole season as well. But I strongly believe, we're gonna find the pieces to change that up in the future. There's gonna be veteran shooters out there. I mean, you can find shooters, guys. You can find shooters out of college, veterans, like internationally. You can find shooters, and I really don't think that that's gonna be a problem. Who really is not? What shooters? We're just talking shooters, not superstars. What shooters aren't going to want to come play alongside Wemby? You know what I mean? He's going to make their job so ridiculously easy that, I mean, it would just be stupid for them to pass up that opportunity, because they're going to get so many wide looks, all the double, triple, quadruple teams that Wemby draws. Like, it's just a shooter's dream to play alongside somebody like that. So I'm not really worried at all about getting shooters. We all know that that's what we need. I think we can just stop talking about it, because it's a known fact. Everybody is on the same page. Nobody's denying that we need shooters. The whole fan base is on the exact same page. That is what we need. So I think right now we just let's just start talking about, like, man, how good we're gonna look once we get them. And let's just be confident in the front office that, like, we're gonna find shooters. That's not gonna be a problem at all. What's gonna be harder, and not more of a problem, but what's gonna be harder is just finding an all-star superstar to bring to San Antonio, without giving up the whole farm. So let's just wait and see what happens in the draft, free agency. But for sure, talking to fans last night, the fan base is confident that the front office is going to get the right pieces together, and I totally 100% agree. We played really good defense last night. Another thing is, we need a rebounder, because when Wimby could hardly get any rebounds, or it was hard for him to get rebounds, even though he ended the night with a double-double. It was really hard for him to get rebounds last night because there's 4 Rockets players in the paint, just straight collapsing, blocking him out. And we got 4 guys blocking him out. And, so with that, we're not getting any second chance shots, and really, really just making the night hard on the whole team. But I'm just really disappointed in just the role play, the bench play. There was just no support from our shooters to help Devin out. I mean, honestly, it's okay if Devin has a bad game here and there, because that's going to happen. It happens for everybody. And it's really just up to the rest of the team to like help him out, pick him up. And, if they were hitting shots, that definitely would have picked him up. We would be overlooking the bad night that he had, and we would have just been obviously happy and proud of the guys that the role play was there. We would have had more to look forward to, going forward into next season. Like, hey, maybe a couple of these guys can stick around and be good role players. I think like Malachi Branham, he's been showing flashes of being a good role player. So we'll see. Hopefully he ends the season on a high note. And, if he does, maybe he sticks around and off the bench, but just a really good role player, knows the system, knows his part on this team. And, I think that could happen as long as he's hitting shots, as long as he is hitting shots. So just really disappointed in last night. And I don't think that there was a lack of effort on the defensive end. I mean, sure, there's other things that could have been cleaned up here or there, but again, we just hit like 2 more 3-pointers, and we're having a whole different conversation about last night's game. So that's today's take. Not too much to get into, just the obvious. Hopefully we hit shots in the future. So we'll see going forward what happens. It was a great night last night, as always. Love attending the games. Even with the losses this whole season, attending, half of the games of the season has been just incredibly fun. It's always exciting to, watch Wimby play. Like, I think going forward, that's just the most exciting thing. Is like, hey, man, we get to watch Wimby play and just see things that, like, we probably have never seen before, and just all the excitement that's going to come. So let's get into a word from another fan that was sitting with us in section 125, Paul. Shout out to you, Paul. Thanks for being on the show as well. It was great enjoying the game with you last night, and your company, your family. So glad that there's a lot of Spurs fans, out there just enjoying the game with us too. So here's a word from Paul.
Hey, Spurs fans, we're back in our section 125 for tonight for the Rockets game, and we are with dedicated Spurs fan Paul. Paul, how are you feeling tonight?
Well, feeling good.
Great. How are you? So far we're in the halftime right now. How do you think the Spurs are playing this first half?
I think they're playing really well, considering they've missed a few outside shot opportunities, but Houston, a really good team, about 1 win away from playoff eligibility. The Spurs are looking good, 47-44 at halftime.
Yeah, Spurs are looking really good. I mean, really the only thing I would say that they're missing and would make our job a lot easier is just hitting those open shots.
Oh, for sure.
Right?
Yeah. No, I agree 100%. They would just, even half of their open shot opportunities, we'd be in even better shape than we are now. So
yeah, I agree, and I feel like too, if we hit our shots, it also does make the job easier for Wimby to get in his rhythm too. So, how have you been feeling about the Spurs this season so far?
I think they're a great young team. I really do. We got a really good core. I just think we need some more consistent shooting from the outside. Some more, a little more, rebounding, which I think we still do a decent job on offensive boards. So we're playing some decent defense. Very close.
Nice, yeah.
Very close.
And how confident are you in the front office to get these pieces that we need?
I think I like Spurs front office, RC Buford, Coach Pop, and that crew. Um, I think they got their eye on the draft, coming up draft, and also free agency.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that's where we can find our shooter and our veteran players, obviously through free agency. And like you mentioned before, who in free agency is not going to want to come play alongside Wimby, right?
Oh, everybody, really.
Yeah.
No, I agree 100%. A lot of players want to come play with Wimby. I feel like this year for Wimby is just so developmental. Getting stronger. He's 19 years old, you know?
Yeah, I know. And as a fan, like, would you say you're on board with the process and it's going to take a little bit of time, but if we get it right, we can be dominant for years?
For sure.
Right, we're on the same line.
I think it's been about 10 years since we won our last title. I'm not sure if that's correct or not, but I think the Spurs are, we're sort of on the clock, with Wimby, but they're being really smart with them, not bringing them along too fast.
Yes.
No, I'm confident. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. And just throughout the season, have you seen development? Have you seen improvement from the team or in the individual players?
I have. The way they've sort of come together as a team, I have. I've seen a lot of improvement. Maybe a veteran player.
Yeah. I think we're definitely missing vets, for sure.
Just a little bit of veteran leadership, but I feel like Pop knows what he's doing. We'll see.
Yeah, I definitely have a lot of faith in this team. I think we're absolutely going in the right direction. How long do you think it'll take for us to be competitive again, Western Conference Finals and the Finals?
I want to see what happens in the draft and free agency, and then that'll give me a lot better idea of the direction. But if I had to make a comment on that, I'd say maybe 2 to 3 years.
2 to 3 years, I love it. Yeah, that's great optimism.
And then that's pretty optimistic.
No, but that's good though, because as a fan though, you are pretty optimistic for the future. You see that we're on the up only.
Oh, for sure. And and San Antonio is a basketball city.
Yes.
And this organization is such a great organization. The fans are some of the best in the league, for sure. They're putting this team together piece by piece, and we're going to be very competitive in the next couple of years.
I agree. I think so too. There's really no ceiling for Wimby either. And there's we're going to see so many new things that we've never witnessed before from a player. I think there's a lot of excitement for us fans to be ready to witness going forward. So I see tonight you're actually with some family, friends, company. How are you enjoying tonight's event?
Oh, this is great. It's sort of like a family night. Where some of the folks at the company, we can bring our family. We have my grandkids are here. And it's just a great atmosphere for young children. We're having a blast. And this is a terrific venue, and Spurs spirit is alive and well, and it's a lot of fun. Everybody's having a good time.
That's awesome to hear. Yeah, I can't wait to bring my son to the games. We'll be bringing him soon, so pretty excited about that.
Oh yeah.
But I appreciate you being on the show today.
Sure.
Before we go, can I get a Go Spurs Go?
Go Spurs Go!
All right, Spurs fans, that's it for today. GSG Nation will be back at the Frost Bank Center Friday, March 22nd against the Memphis Grizzlies. I really hope to get each and every one of you involved and on this show one day. Be sure to keep up with GSG Nation on X at GSG Nation Talk, on Instagram and TikTok at GSG Nation, and GSG Nation on YouTube. And as always,